How's it going, everyone? This is K Collections. I finally found a 1/7 scale figure of MASH. Been looking for this for a very long time. Never pre-ordered it, so I missed out my chance on getting this upon release. And the aftermarket prices for a while has been ridiculous. Thankfully, I found a seller willing to sell me this for a reasonable price. It's used, obviously, so we'll see how the condition is. But the box is damaged, as you can see right here, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. What matters is the figure inside. So here's the front of the box, nice gold lettering right there. Here's the side with a promotional image. The back, other side, back to the front, and here is the top. And bottom is plain. All right. For the base, it's the standard summoning circle in the middle and a translucent coloring, and I appreciate this more than a plain flat base. Something like this, some kind of design is always appreciated. So no complaints here. Now there is a crack I saw. I'm trying to look up. There we go. So there's a crack on this. I assume the seller did this. Maybe it was manufacturer's problem, or you never know. But there are some scratches on the summoning circle itself. I don't know if that was done by the seller or not, but oh well. It was not mentioned to me, but I could live with it. On to her main weapon, the shield. Now this is wonderful. I love it. The silver painting on the symbol right there is wonderful. Now this is just a personal perspective, but I think there's just way too much shading. That's not a bad thing. Again, it just boils down to your perspective, but there are some areas where I think it's okay not to shade. Basically, you have shading all everywhere, right? The ends of the shield towards the center. Areas where I think it's okay not to shade are these two areas right here, right? And the runes. You don't need to shade those areas. It's okay, but overall, it's beautiful in my opinion. Beautiful metallic painting on the shield itself. Here is the back, and hey, they even shade the back as well, and that's appreciated. Shadings on each circular design. Overall, it's wonderful. There's even shading on the ends of the back of the shield as well. So, like I said, maybe too much, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. So onto the figure itself, it's a wonderful figure. Now, my only complaint would be there is some black markings on her skin. That's kind of annoying. You can't really see from a far distance. Now, I don't know if that was done by the seller by accident. Maybe he accidentally scratched it. I wouldn't know, but that is a bit annoying up close. Not the end of the world, though. Now, the armor looks amazing, right? I mean, just look at that. Nice metallic shine to it. Now, there's a lot of shading on this, and unlike the shield, where it's very noticeable to the point where I think it was too much personally, for the armor itself, there's a lot of shading, but it blends in so well with the dark tone or the dark painting of her armor. And that shine, that looks wonderful. And let's talk about the seam line. This is something that I appreciate it. It's half and half. Yeah, and I'll explain what I mean. So the left portion of the top of her head, they kind of hit the seam line a bit, but the right side, it's very noticeable. And I always appreciate companies trying to hide the seam line as much as they can, because it's difficult, it's a running issue. I wouldn't really say it's an issue, it's just something that's to be expected for figures. And overall, this figure looks amazing, really no issues. Now, I really want to talk about the beautiful shading on her hair. Lighter tone up top, towards the ends, you have a darker tone of pink. And my god, the sculpting on the back of her hair is wonderful, how it's just like blowing in the wind. Lots of sculpted details, lots of sculpted hairlines. That's one of the best I've seen. Too bad it's on the back though, but it looks wonderful in my opinion. For size comparisons, here is a comparison with a 1/8 scale caster Gilgamesh figure. Now, I did a review on this already, so if you haven't checked that out yet, do so if you're interested in picking that figure up. Now, obviously, a 1/7 and 1/8 look completely different in scaling. They don't really look great next to each other, so there you have it. Finally, here is a comparison with a 1/7 scale figure by Stronger Mash in her 3rd Ascension. Now, if you were to ask me which Mash figure I'd recommend you buying or which one I much prefer, the one from Stronger is simply amazing. Now, that's not to discredit this figure, they're both wonderful, but the one Stronger made is simply flawless. It's as comparable to a figure made by Good Smile or Alter. You know, it's just that wonderful. My only nitpick would be the coloring for the base. I mean, it should be light blue because it's the sky, not purple. Aside from that, it's, to me, one of the best figures in the market in general. Now, a side-by-side comparison, you can kind of see that the one Aniplex made, it is more so on the smaller side of 1/7 scale, because compared to this, it is a bit smaller. You could tell from the size of the head, size of the body. In comparison, they don't really look great next to each other, which is a shame. I was kind of hoping to place them right next to each other, but I mean, you can kind of fix that issue by, moving your display a bit, have one further back, one more towards the front. So not the end of the world, not a huge issue, but just realize this is a bit bigger in scale. Well, my final thoughts on this figure, it's a wonderful figure. Buy this if you're an FGO fan, if you're a MASH fan, hey, more reason to do so, am I right? She is best Kouhai after all. So this complaint was made by another figure reviewer. The channel name is Figure Break. Great content. He does a lot of reviews on Nendoroids, Figmas, and scale figures of anime characters, more so on the Fate side. So check the channel out if you haven't yet. His complaint was that the shield, it has so much details put into it, but because of the angle, you won't get to see the front of the shield, which I agree, sucks. Nonetheless, I think most MASH figures do hide the front of the shield. Nothing you can really do about it. But I highly recommend you buying this figure. It's great. It will look great on your shelf. Well, thanks for watching. Special thanks to all my patrons for supporting me. If you want to support my channel, check out my Patreon. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more Fate content. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and join my Discord server. All links are in the description. Have an awesome day, everyone. Till next time.